Good morning. I'm Jill Cameron with Heartland Real Estate Services, and we have Eric Halter here with Loan Source Lending. How are you, Eric?
Doing good, doing good.
Good, good. Today, I actually have a couple who's looking to purchase a single family home, and they have never purchased before. And they really wanted to know step by step what they need to do to get qualified for a loan. So I decided to talk to Eric about it and hopefully see if we can come up with a little video about, getting people some help and educating them on the process. So, Eric, let's start out with, the first step in the process.
The first step in the process, once you decide that, hey, home ownership is something I would like to get into, is to get pre-qualified. And basically what pre-qualification it means, it's similar to like if you were to go and buy a car and you go to your bank, get your loan first before, make sure that you can get a loan to buy so you know what you're looking for. Same thing with a house. We can do a pre-qualification, which is a lot of times just a quick phone call where we're going to look at your job, where you work and your income, what debt you have, your credit, and then we also look at your money that you have saved. And by looking at those things, I can tell you, what amount you qualify for, what mortgage programs are available. So if you're a first-time home buyer, you might have some money that is grant money that's available, or let's say you've owned a house before and you're going to be selling a house and you're going to have cash. You can have the options of, do I take all the money and put it in the next house, or do I pay off debt? So it's a good way to strategize, how you're going to finance the next property, what you're going to do with your cash from your sale, or how much money you're going to need if it's a first time buying. And that gives you the feeling when you're out there looking for homes that, hey, I can do this and I understand what I'm doing. And then when I pass them back to you, Jill, you've got a good idea of what they need. They may need the seller to pay closing costs, and I'm able to help you write the contract with the
Yeah.
terms that the buyer needs.
Exactly. It's kind of like a partnership with the lender. You got to make sure that we get this thing squared away so that they're comfortable, and we propose it to the potential seller in a manner that would actually be agreeable. So after the first step, we would get a letter, and the letter would be emailed to not only the potential buyers, my couple, but myself. And then that gives us a little bit more leverage when we are, looking at property and possibly putting an offer in. If we find a property, then what's our next step?
The next step, once you find the property, or actually while you're looking for the property, after our initial conversation about pre-qualifying, and we kind of say, okay, well, this is what it probably would look like for you, we would go ahead and get you fully approved. We'd get your pay stubs, your W-2s, your tax returns, your bank statements. We'll go ahead and collect all that. You'd fill out a quick online application. We would pull a hard credit report. So that's the report we would go to closing with. We'd submit all that to the underwriter, get the loan approved while you're looking. Maybe you find something before that's approved. If you do, we'll have a pre-qualification letter like you had mentioned, Jill, so you can give that to the seller saying, hey, seller, this buyer's real. They've spoken to a lender. They already have the loan. Here's the type of financing they're getting, and here's how quick we can close. So the benefit of getting pre-approved versus pre-qualified is it shows the seller that, hey, we got somebody with cash in the bank with the mortgage company if we're approved. Also, it may give you the opportunity that if you found the right property and the seller really needed to sell and close quickly, maybe you close in 20 days. Maybe you get $20,000 better dollars off the price, or you get 10,000 or 20,000 paid towards your closing cost of prepaids. And I know you guys at Heartland, I mean, y'all are pros. Some of the negotiations I've seen that y'all put together, I'm like, wow, that really is going to do a good service for the buyer.
Yeah, that's what we do. So make sure everybody is all around happy. And sometimes Eric actually puts the property address that we're putting an offer in on the pre-approval or pre-qualification letter, and the amount we are offering. I mean, it's basically, we just want to make sure it's as definitive as possible for our sellers and anybody working on the other side of the transaction. So that's great.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, sometimes the listing agents actually call me once they get the letter just to verify that. So it really solidifies sometimes your offer. If we have 4 or 5 offers on one property, if you have a buyer that's fully approved versus pre-qualified, normally, even if the prices may be a little bit less on that qualified buyer, if the buyer knows or seller knows that's a sure deal, they'll take that offer a lot of times over a pre-qualification offer.
Right, and Eric does, he calls, or if the other agents do want his contact information and said they ask permission. And I always ask Eric, and he's very, very helpful in making sure that they give him the comfort level that's needed so you can win that offer. So that's great stuff, Eric. Thank you.
You're welcome. Pre-qualification is a lot easier than people think. The number one thing I hear really is I'm kind of afraid to find out, but really, even if we look and it doesn't work right now, it allows us to set a game plan for the future, and we can work together, whether that takes a month or 6 months. We can kind of put together, I know the rules of the mortgage industry, and I can help guide you to, becoming a homeowner, whether it's now or 5 months from now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it could be something that's down the road. So we'll take care of everybody. Well, have a great day, Eric. Thank you for that information. And if anybody needs our services, just reach out.
For sure. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.